This is the Menards Chevy Show, where we tour the country to find the finest race cars and rides that are part of the Bowtie breed. The Texas Motorplex is known for its quarter mile of concrete, but it also attracts some of the sweetest rides in the Lone Star State. Welcome, everybody, to another edition of the Menards Chevy Show. This time coming to you from Billy Meyer's magnificent Texas Motorplex, one of the original super tracks in drag racing history, with another show filled with Chevrolet's finest products. Let's take a look at our very first producer's pick. If you're a truck fan, you're not going to believe this thing, because this man right here has a piece that I dare say does not have one single item on it restored.
No, it's not at all. The steering wheel.
The steering wheel is
It's a new steering wheel.
Oh, well, you ruined the whole concept.
The other one fell apart. The wheels on the truck, the steering wheel, and everything is wood.
All right, where did you find this thing?
Colorado Springs.
Was it in this shape? I mean, obviously it looks like...
Exactly the way I bought it. I bought 4 trucks, and the old man was fixing to pass away, and he said, "You have to have this 28." And I said, really not in my realm of it, but he insisted that I take this, so I have left it exactly like that instead of making the rest of my hot rod. You get lots and lots of looks everywhere you go. As soon as you unload it out of the trailer or drive it out of my shop, everybody wants to look at it. I'm not going to do anything to it other than the upkeep and all that stuff.
Time now for our first special award winner here at the Motorplex, Gene Spaziani, with his 57 Chevy 150, the Moonshine Sweet Tea Sweet Ride winner. It looks like it might be a cruiser. It looks like it might be a drag car. Who knows the best? Probably the guy that is at the wheel today. What is it, Gene? Did you build this thing for a cruiser, or do you race here at Billy Meyer's Texas Motorplex?
Hey, this car is designed to do both. It can drive on the street or hit the track.
What's the quickest it's run?
Oh, the car will run in the 8s. It's a 431-inch small block Chevy.
One of the things over the years we've learned as far as determining what this car was really designed for is final drive rear end ratio. What is it?
Well, this one's got 513.
Well, there you go. That's the end of that argument, right?
Yeah, it's not going down the highway too
If
often.
you said it had 373s in it, then we'd know it was built for a cruiser. If it's got a 513 gear in it, it's meant to go, 110 in the 60 foot.
Yeah, something like that.
Of the small blocks, why go with the single 4-barrel? Why not go with the electronic fuel injection?
Well, this is Ron's fuel injection on this car.
Really? That makes it at least a little bit easier to tune.
Well, yeah, and it runs a lot cooler too. So, these things inherently like to run hot. So the paint was done by a gentleman in Orlando. He was an aircraft painter, and so he painted the car. It's candy red with silver base.
Interior-wise, I would imagine it's pretty Spartan.
Yeah, pretty Spartan. There's a couple seats in there, a shifter, a tack, and a gas pedal.
Between the two of them, which is your favorite ride?
It's hard to choose. The Nova's a little faster because it's a little lighter.
Yeah, makes sense.
And this car is just really a ultimate, showpiece.
The one thing that probably needs to be brought up is look at the side trim, look at the post. That's not a Bel Air.
No, it's not a Bel Air. It's a 150. So they're rare to do. Most people don't do 150s. So it's unusual, and it sets itself apart when it competes against those other cars.
That is an amazing and unique ride. And congratulations to Gene Spaziani on winning the Moonshine Sweet Tea Sweet Ride Award. There's still plenty more of the Menards Chevy Show to come, including a pristine panel truck from the fabulous 50s. We'll be right back.
The Menards Chevy Show is being brought to you by Z-Max, the one product for your engine, transmission, and fuel system. Evapo-Rust, super safe rust remover. Steel Rubber Products, quality crafted rubber parts and weather stripping. And by Dustless Blasting, it's the future of surface preparation.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Menards Chevy Show, coming to you from Billy Meyer's awesome Texas Motorplex here in Ennis, Texas. Anytime you go to a Menards Chevy Show, you're going to find a plethora of Tri-5s, whether it's Mike Gaston's awesome Pro Street Style 1957 Chevy or Joe Vargas's amazing 56 wagon cruiser. We've got everything you've ever wanted to see, including this one. Take a good close look at a 1957 Chevy panel truck. Steve, where'd you find it?
I found it out in a junkyard and drug it home on a trailer in 1992. Been whacking on it ever since.
No kidding.
The body itself is all that I kept. I replaced all the front cap doors, back doors. It was hit when I first got it, and the side panels of the truck itself were wrinkled up. And I pulled it out as best I could, but I never could get all the wrinkles out of the side of it, so I wound up solving that problem by cutting a hole in it.
What's your favorite part about this thing, other than the fact that you can live in it if you have to?
My favorite part about it is just all the different custom work that I did to it. Got a 57 car dash in it, all the 57 car components that I put on it, just for looks. Nobody else has got one. Never seen that option ever before.
No. And I don't think anybody else has.
Out there. No, well, hopefully we won't see them all over the place now.
Well, I think there's a lot to be said for craftsmanship, and you're the one that's making sure that everybody remembers that.
That's right. Thank you.
We're in Texas, so there are plenty of trucks, including our LMC Truck Life Award winner, a 1982 Blazer owned by Arthur Young. Everybody knows the venerable Chevy Blazer. Question is Arthur a high-performance guy or just a cruiser?
I'm a little bit of both.
Really? Well, I noticed it's got a small block in it, and I don't think that's a bone stock small block.
No, it is a LS1. It's a 5.3. It's a 30 over, and poured and polished heads, and it pumped out about 435 horsepower. I love the room in it, and it's like a concert hall when you get everything closed up.
They're perfect when you really put in the sound. There's no question about it.
I've had it since '97. Now.
That's 20 years ago, man.
I always said one of these days I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna fix everything on it. And 16 years later, I did that.
These are not easy trucks to get the proper stance on.
Yeah, it actually has drop spindles and the drop springs in the front. And it has a flip kit in the back, which gave me about a 6-inch drop in the back.
Exactly. That'll nail the rear end, much more so than anything else you can do to it. Was the body pretty straight when you got it, or did you do anything to that?
It was pretty straight, but it had been hit. But when they did the paint work on it, they cut out all of the previous work and put steel in, and they did a super job.
You're lucky. You're real lucky. Now, from the perspective of cruisability of this truck, is it what you wanted?
It's real close. It's real close. It's just a little much on the cruising, but when you're out on the highway, it cruises well. It doesn't overheat, but it's fine.
There's one quick way to find out what kind of guy you are, performance or cruise. What's the rear end gear?
Rear end gear is 342s.
You're a cruiser. So congratulations to our LMC Truck Life Award winner, Arthur Young, and his 1982 Blazer. Definitely a cool cruiser. The Texas Motorplex, high performance on the concrete quarter mile, and over in the car show compound, some eye-catching eye candy. Time now to crank it with the Copper Top. And our award winner this week in Texas is a 55 Chevy 3100 owned by Dale Shosick. Here on the Menards Chevy Show, there are trucks, and then there are astonishing trucks. Dale, you got the ladder. And I want to know where you got it.
Well, what you see is not what I purchased.
Okay. Basket case?
And then some. Couple baskets. Always wanted one.
Really?
Always wanted a 55.
The specific 3100 or just any 55 pickup?
As long as it was a 55 second series, I wanted that truck.
Enlighten me, the second series?
Yes, in the middle of 1955, they changed body styles.
So how many years ago are we talking that you started on this project?
It was 2002. I've been legally blind since just after January of 2000, so a little over 17 years now.
How long's it been finished?
10 years.
Wow, that's a pretty good time span for what you ended up with.
About 3.5 weeks ago, I was riding a BMX bicycle, which I have no business doing, at a friend of mine's house. He's got his own track, and I wiped out and broke my clavicle. And then I got the call to be on this show.
Wow.
So I didn't have to ask too many guys in the club if they could lend a hand, and What you see under the hood now is all been very meticulously cleaned and made worthy to be here.
The camaraderie that comes from this sport is absolutely amazing. That's a classic example of it. And I dare say, the very fact that you're here with a broken clavicle, with not the least painful of all injuries, is pretty impressive in itself.
All good, just you do what you, this is a wonderful opportunity for me.
Congratulations to Dale and his amazing truck, another in a long line of deserving winners of the Crank It with the Copper Top Award. Stay with us, because when the Menards Chevy Show returns to Texas, we'll check out a 69 Camaro that is one of only a dozen ever made. Welcome back to the Menards Chevy Show here at the Texas Motorplex in Ennis, Texas. Recognize that face? This amazing artwork and some incredible airbrushing adorns the late model Camaro of Janelle Jacobson, and as you can see, it's a rolling tribute to the one and only Elvira. It's definitely one of the most colorful here, but as you look around, you'll see an amazing array of Chevrolets, including a tremendous variety of Camaros. To some people, it's nostalgia. To the gray hairs out there, it's a car that doesn't seem like it could possibly be that old. This thing is obviously not restored. How in the world did it stay in this condition?
Luckily enough, I don't know. A fourth owner, bought it a year and a half ago. I found it and I was like, I got to get it. It's got to stay this way. It's got to stay preserved.
What's the mileage on it?
6431.
6,000 miles on this thing, through 4 owners.
Yes, I remember these cars when I was new. This was high school parking lot.
Yeah,
right here. This one was fortunate enough to have the leather interior. First year ever in a Camaro, 1987. These cars were not meant to last 30 years.
What's your favorite part of this car?
I don't think I have one.
I was going to say the entire package is an answer.
Yeah, really. Yeah, the whole car. The whole car. You know, just to say I'm fortunate enough to own a time capsule. I could never replace this car.
It's a given that at any Menards Chevy show, you're going to see a bunch of Camaros. Very few as absolutely astonishing as Pat Kelly's RS SS 69. And on top of that, this car is not only heavily optioned, it's a convertible. And on top of that, the motor.
Original 375 horse, 396 L89 with aluminum heads. There's 311 L89s made, 12 which were convertibles. All original GM pulleys, intake, heads, block, everything.
Is there anything that you even want to touch on this car?
No.
I
No, I don't have to do anything to it.
I'm going to figure you don't put too many miles on it.
Oh, no. But I do drive it.
Really?
It's a driver. I built it to drive.
There are all sorts of Chevys on hand here today, but we were so impressed with Patrick Newman's 74 Nova that we had to present it with the Gunk Tough and Trusted Award. Life ended as we know it in 1973. They took some of the best known Chevrolet marques and made them, well, some people out there would say, ungainly. You, my friend, have determined the solution to make this car look as cool as humanly possible. Monochromatic.
There you go. I had it in mind. I didn't want the big chrome bumper sticking out everywhere. Yeah.
It's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. It makes it look like a completely different car now.
Yeah, it does. It changes it up. They don't stick out, and don't notice it when you walk into them.
You made it a lot more difficult than you could have by going with black.
It's not very fun. I've had 3 or 4 cars that were black and said never do another one again, and this is what happens.
Yeah, but I got to say, the final combination is pretty amazing. That doesn't look like a smog motor small block. What is it?
No, it's the original motor out of the car.
Is it really?
Yes.
Numbers matching. 350.
350. I found it in Irving off a little old lady.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Was she the first owner?
No, her parents were. It was left to her, and then I bought it off of her.
What do you like about the Novas, especially the safety Novas? Why would you even go there?
Well, the safety Nova, just figured that I'd be more safe in it.
I know better than that. Trust me, this thing doesn't have 273 gears in it, does it?
It still does.
Does it really? Okay, you really are safer then. I apologize. One of the coolest aspects of the cars is the headlight treatment.
Right.
Where'd you get that?
The anodized paint. Just an idea.
Well, that's all it is.
Yeah.
The VHT in a can, anodized paint.
Anodized paint.
So what did you spray? The back of the lights or the front of the lights?
The front.
You're kidding me.
Yeah. It stays on.
Are blues legal? And I say that in seriously.
Probably not.
Our congratulations to Patrick Newman and his 74 Nova on winning the Gunk Tough and Trusted Award here at the Motorplex. You can always count on variety at a Menards Chevy show. So far, we've passed out special awards to a trio of trucks and a unique Nova. You've got to love the Lone Star style. The Chevelle is a staple among Chevy restorers, and we like Jeff Allman's 1968 Malibu so much that we gave it this week's OPGI Original Award. The Chevelle goes above and beyond. Did you do this work?
Thank you. Yes, I did. Everything but the paint. Frame off restoration in my own garage, and
No kidding.
did the engine work with a buddy of mine down the road. His name was Jim. Did everything but the paint. I had the body hanging from ropes and engine hoist in the rafters of my garage.
Where'd you get the original piece?
I actually found it at a farmer's driveway down the road from me about a mile, and asked him if he wanted to sell it, and he said yes, and I was dumb enough to buy it.
The engine bay had to have some design theory behind it. You had to know what you wanted it to look like.
I wanted it clean. I mean, hide as much stuff as you possibly can and show off the engine and the paint. Companies like OPGI are supplying all the parts for it, and I bought a lot of their products for this car. The whole interior came from OPGI. A lot of the electrical parts, a little hard to find sockets and bits and pieces for suspension work, all that stuff came from them. They make everything you could possibly imagine for these Chevelles, and thankfully there's someone that can. It took me about 4.5, almost 5 years.
Well, that's totally understandable for the outcome of this project. What was what you consider the most difficult aspect of this renovation?
Oh boy, that's a good question, because it's a never-ending project. There was always something that needs to be fixed.
Every piece was a pain, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I was having trouble. Probably the main thing would be the hydraulic clutch in there, because I've had the transmission in and out of this thing 10 times in one day.
Okay, what's your favorite part of this car?
Oh, I love the paint, because it's not a color you see every day. I didn't care for the Chevy Hugger Orange. This is pops. I like that, and it stands out.
That is an impressive Malibu, and Jeff Allman is certainly deserving of taking home the OPGI Original Award here today at the Texas Motorplex. We still have more of the Menards Chevy show to come, including a 62 Vet that is owned by an unusual Texas twosome. We'll be right back.
Menards Chevy Show is being brought to you by Custom Auto Sound, the originator of classic car OEM fit radio since 1977. Clamp Tight, the clamp making tool. Borla, the world's most winning exhaust. And by Gen Y Hitch, towing made easy.
Welcome back to the Menards Chevy Show. Now, any drag racing fan worth their salt knows well the history of the incredible Texas Motorplex, constructed by Billy Meyer 31 years ago. A lot of people don't realize just how big of an operation this track is. It's time to meet the manager.
Fast Friday program is open to anybody. You can bring out mom's station wagon to, we might have pro mods or top fuel cars showing up, but we just make sure they're safe at the speeds they're going, and we let them go have fun. We run Pro Mod Series here once a month or every month. We've got our bracket series. We've got a ton of events from Lantern Fest. It's not all just drag racing here, but we do it all.
It's also important for people to realize that the Menards Chevy Show isn't just a car show. It's a drag race. It's a variety of things, and a lot of events that you're holding are now aimed at multiple disciplines.
Yeah, we've got a ton of bracket racers here today running with it, all Chevy powered or Chevy body cars.
Right. And the Rock Auto Restored Award winner here in Texas is a 1962 Corvette owned by Bethany Morales and Stormy. Well, another event, another award for Bethany Morales' incredible 1962 Corvette, probably the most desirable of all Corvettes, the 62 hardtop roadster. What's the story behind the car? Where'd you get it?
I bought it off eBay of all things.
Really?
Really.
In this condition?
In this condition. I looked for it for about 5 years. I wanted automatic. I didn't want to have to change gears and what have you. And I bought it off of eBay from a gentleman in Atlantic City, New Jersey.
Wow.
And he sent me a first-class ticket to come and look at it before I paid for it. So I hightailed it to
Take
New
that deal.
Jersey. Yeah, I took that deal. $2,200 ticket, first class, and took a look at it, bought it, of course, and had it shipped back. Flew back home and had it shipped back to me.
What a piece.
I really haven't done anything to it. I haven't had the engine overhauled or done anything to it, really, and I don't put that many miles on it. It's not a trailer queen. I don't own anything that I don't use. I don't want to just have something pretty and worry about it. And what have you. No, I drive it when I want to. I just don't drive it that much. Once a week or so to keep the engine okay and,
Right.
and the transmission and what have you. I enjoy it, yeah.
Do you prefer driving it with the top on or with the hard top off?
I've had it off twice.
I guess that answers that question.
Like I said, you've got to look good when you get there.
Now, because of your notoriety with this car, obviously Stormy has become a pretty impressive superstar in the car show world as well.
She put up money too.
And I presume she doesn't like it with the top off either.
No, it messes up her hair too. We've owned several classic cars and we've owned several Corvettes, but this is my choice.
Bethany and Stormy have plenty of reason to be proud of their 62 Corvette, and it's easy to see why it's today's Rock Auto Restored winner. There are a dozen Menards Chevy shows on the 2017 calendar, and you can be sure there will be plenty of bow-tie beauties on hand at every stop. That's all the time we have for today's show from Texas. Next week, we'll head north up the interstate to see what the Oklahoma Sooner scene has to offer. See you next time.